Pantheon presents
25, look, PPL is here. My favorite time of year. Blood, sweat, and tears dripping all over the gear. Yeah, NFL is back, so is PPL. Let the game get started. Time to see who will prevail. Yeah, the wait is over. Yeah, it's time for fantasy. It's time to draft to build a team that's capable to win the ring. As the gap attack back to back and try to get him free. He's chilling on the throne where everybody wants to be. Yeah, we all want the money. Everybody pay the fee. For me, I'm trying to win it just to brag about my team. Everybody wants to read, but it ain't easy to achieve it. But believe it when I say it, feels so good when you receive it. Yeah, PPL is back, PPL the league is whack. You can say I'm talking smack, now I'm only speaking fact. Every week we got the live show, each year we got a nice flow. The others they can see us like they're playing with their eyes closed. PPL we ride, PPL we live, PPL we high, we the best you can't deny. Welcome to the live show, life be like the sideshow. You know and I know that PPL's a war zone, 100-yard battlefield, helmets as a battle shield. PPL we're back for real, time to draft and make a deal. Alpha versus Omega, battle with the fantasy, a game of intelligence, sacrifice and strategy.
And here we are, the final four of the PPL. Next week, we will have the Pantheon Cup 17 matchup. But before we get into that, let's get into our last week's matchups. Starting with Patty's Twins getting a big-time win and advancing to the Final Four. 143 to KLEOS 135, and Squad underestimated makes it back to the Final Four again. They have made it their home over the last couple of years. 156 to 123. Man, Ulysses, this has been a heck of a season. It is down to the Final Four. The Final Four are actually 4 of the 5 original 5 teams, man. It's going to be a historical end to the season, man. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, you couldn't have scripted it better. The Final Four, I mean, you know, legendary matchups between the Argonauts and Twins in the season, in the playoff, in Pantheon Cups.
Right.
There's always been back and forth between Squad and ATG. I think that one's going to give the people what they want.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and Gino, let's talk about it. I mean, you called this exact scenario. I mean, in what you prognosticated, did anything surprise you about the matchups from last week?
I mean, I thought KLEOS really fought hard. I expected them to fight hard, but I thought that experience would be the decider in the end. And I feel like there's no bigger show of experience than your coaching your defensive calls, man. And let's talk about it. Patty's Twins, they nearly stumbled and gave KLEOS a break with that Cowboys coach call at the end. But that Niners coach over that Packers coach was really the difference in that matchup, and got the Twins, who are, you know, the veterans of veterans in the PPL, onto the Pantheon Cup. So when I looked at that matchup, nothing really surprised me there. I expected that the KLEOS might make a mistake and the veteran team would take advantage of that, and the Twins were able to do that. Now, in the other matchup with Squad and the Skulls, I just thought that one would come down to attrition and fireworks, and it just ended up for the Skulls, man. I thought they did a good job throughout the season, you know, patching things up, finding ways to get by. They had a real problem at the running back position, but were able to end the season with a solid running back run. So they did a good job, I thought, for where they were. Squad underestimated, highest scoring team in the league, looked like what I expected them to look like, 156 points. And this was from a relatively pedestrian day from Christian McCaffrey at 15. So that's about what I saw, man. Now, I know you saw things the other way. What did you see, or what may have surprised you?
Well, I mean, starting with the Skulls Squad matchup, I mean, hats off to the Skulls. I mean, I think that they really fought hard. I could tell you a few weeks back would not have placed them in the playoffs. So just to get here was a feat.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, when I look at this team and what they achieved this season, I mean, Josh Allen, you know, had one of his better games to come back in this Buffalo matchup. But I'll say, like, a pickup like R.J. Harvey, I think, you know, as we'll look back on this season and who was picked up, I mean, this guy's turned out to be the rookie running back to have. And I think that he's going to be a feature in this Denver team, and I think a keeper for the Skulls to come. So, I mean, nothing to really hang your hat on here. Squad Underestimated, on the other hand, was able to finally get a win. I mean, they had been the losers, 2 or 3 in a row, you know?
Right.
And so they really limped off into this playoff position. But I think, again, showed their strength, and, again, are keyed up for a good matchup. You did point out, though, on the other side, what really came down to that matchup with Killer Kev and Patty's Twins was coach. I think that Squad did a great job with the Jags. When we look at Twins, I mean, got the win from San Francisco, should have been better. And I think that Killer Kev, it really hurt him on his defensive front. I mean, but it all came down to that Packers coach win. I mean, I can't even knock his lineup. I think he got, even when you look at his bench and guys who scored, it's like, nah, he ain't starting these guys over the guys who were in the lineup.
Right.
So that's all hindsight. I think that he did a phenomenal job outside of, he let that Packers coach. I mean, we talked about this. I mean, yes, they were highly rated, but they're going against the top team in the AFC.
Right.
And again, just they were on the road. I think he could have found an easier matchup, and I think ultimately cost him his season, the inexperience. So hats off to Killer Kev, though. I mean, hey man, they're a lineup switch a month ago from fucking having a first round bye. So I mean, this guy tightens it up, and he'll be a fixture in alpha. But I mean, come on, he went against the Twins. They did what they do, and they're looking to have success where they have had success against the Argos in the playoffs.
Right. No, definitely, man. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how that all goes down, man. When I look at it, at the end of the day, I'm on Ross St. Brown with 35.9 for Patty's Twins. He led the way in that matchup. And obviously, man, let's talk about it. Puka Nacua got fed for Squad Underestimated after Devontae Adams went down and got Squad that big point total that he needed to get him over the hump. But that was last week, man. Wild Card Weekend is over. Those successes are in the past. What's past is prologue. It's time to step forward and step into the present of the PPL. And we start our Final Four weekend with a huge matchup in the PPL. A big one for both of these teams as they go into it. We got a big one, Alpha versus Omega. We got Squad Underestimated taking on Appease the Gods. All right, man. Squad Underestimated rolls into this matchup. Juggernaut era style award winners. They won last week, as we have talked about, their big win over the Skulls, getting that monkey off of their back after the Skulls eliminated them last year. Squad is one win from going back to the Pantheon Cup. Winners of Pantheon Cup 14. They also appeared in Pantheon Cup 10. Obviously, on the other side, we got Appease the Gods. They've been to 3 Pantheon Cups before, Pantheon Cups 3, 6, and 7. This will be their first Pantheon Cup in a while, but they have ruled the Omega Conference for the last couple of years. Just don't have much to show for it, man. What do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, earlier in the season, I mean, Squad absolutely handled Appease the Gods mid-season, right before the trade that kind of revitalized them. When I look at this, I mean, we're going to see a different look Squad. I mean, he had Bo Nix on the bench. He's obviously cracking into this lineup. And again, I'm thinking a game against Jacksonville should generate fireworks. I think Saquon and Christian have excellent matchups. Puka, I mean, very vocal this week about ref play, I guess, and being critical. It'll be interesting on the road in Seattle if that has any play at all. Rashid Shaheed, I think, is kind of a wild card here, situational play.
Right.
I don't think it's necessarily the worst. The thing that I'd be kind of concerned about for Squad is Brock Bowers. Not that there's an injury or anything, but if I'm Las Vegas at this point, I'm starting to shut people down.
Okay.
I'm not trying to get people hurt when we really have nothing to play for. And so we did see a little bit of a downtick in his production last week. And again, against a caliber defense like Houston, I just don't see why you risk it. Yeah. Kenneth Gainwell, on the other hand, has been absolutely the recipient of the rock, and I think that will continue. Jags D against Denver, I hate that, especially if you're going to go Bo Nix. But I mean, hey, I think that he's looking at what's going to happen on balance, and that may play out for him. Where I think he's taking a risk is that Lions coach against Pittsburgh. I mean, we saw it last week. I mean, this guy's playing a coach that is in the hunt against a team that's winning their division, I believe, outright.
Right.
And so I think that this is a riskier call. I think squad is maybe prognosticating a little too much here. I think he can find an easier matchup, but I mean, that goes for everybody with their D and coaches.
Right.
The other side, I mean, appease the gods. I mean, they're I think that when it comes to consistent production, they're in trouble here.
Okay.
However, when I saw the game a few weeks ago, Chicago Green Bay, I mean, Chicago had a really good second half and didn't really get outpaced by much.
Right.
I think that Caleb Williams is going to be a factor, and Colston Loveland has really factored into what they're trying to do more.
Okay.
Rico Dowdle hasn't been as productive, and again, a piece of God's going with a wild card themselves. Kamani Vidal, he's been involved in the Chargers game. I just think that a piece of God's is trying to get opportunistic in what he sees as an offensive matchup in Dallas.
Right.
Cortland Sutherland, I like that check on Bo Nix. Bo Nix, if he goes there, I think Cortland Sutherland has gotten increased production. Nico Collins has established himself firmly as the number one. And Scary Terry, I mean, again, hard against Philly, but in these divisional matchups, and I'd say that he's had better chemistry than Mariota than he had with Daniels as of late. So I like it. They went out and got the Bills against a Cleveland offense that Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback that Cleveland has, but he's turnover prone and sack prone. So I think that works in his favor. I don't really, though, think that it's going to matter. I think that a piece of Gods is going to fight this one hard, but I think ultimately Squad has too much firepower.
Yeah.
They're looking to get at whoever comes out of the other matchup. I think that Squad does another matchup where they are the high-scoring team of the week.
Okay.
I've got him going 145 to appease the Gods 132.
All right, man. When I look at this matchup, I'm with you. When you look at it, it looks like a mismatch as far as studs go. You got Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua on one side, and Brock Bowers. I mean, on the other side, you have Caleb Williams, Nico Collins, and Rico Dowdle. Those are probably, and Cortland Sutton. I think Cortland Sutton could make this matchup interesting because you never know if Bo Nix is a guy who likes to go one way. He starts to heat up on a guy and kind of fixates on him. If that ball starts to fly to Cortland Sutton, that could really turn the matchup for ATG. Where I do think ATG has an advantage, and where I think that they could sneak this one out, is because of the strength of their coach and defensive plays. Squad's defensive and coach plays are not going to be as confident no matter what they put into the lineup. And Squad did have a big week. There's always a chance for a decline or a down week. But at the end of the day, it's too much. Christian McCaffrey there waiting in the wings on Monday night, I think, is the real harbinger of doom for ATG season. I think Squad underestimated goes back to the Pantheon Cup for the first time since Pantheon Cup 14 and tries to right the wrong of that asterisk season. I got Squad underestimated getting this one 129 to appease the Gods 119. And moving on to our next matchup, we go into a matchup of extreme PPL consequence and historical fact. We got Patty's Twins taking on the Argonauts. All right, man, this is a star-studded matchup, a history-laden matchup. Patty's Twins and the Argonauts, a rematch of Pantheon Cup 1 and Pantheon Cup 8. Both of these teams split. These teams have seen each other in 4 PPL playoff matchups. The Argonauts are actually 3-1 in those matchups. Argonauts won the last one 2 years ago in the Final Four that propelled them to Pantheon Cup 15. What do you think of this one, man? Patty's Twins, the Argonauts.
Yeah, I mean, when these teams played earlier in the season, Patty's Twins won pretty handedly. I'll say, whenever I look at this just right away, I don't like Joe Burrow starting for the Argonauts. I mean, this guy's having reported mental health issues. I think I like Jackson Dart or Lamar in lieu of him. But I don't think this lineup is fully set. But when I look at Kyron Williams, if the Rams, and with what's on the line in Seattle. If they're going to be the factor, he's gonna have to be there. Bijan Robinson is a stud. Another X factor though is how's Lad McConkey going to be factoring into this Dallas matchup?
Right.
I mean, again, not as involved as I'm certainly knowing that we would have expected.
Yeah.
On the other side, Trey McBride is a stud. This dude is unstoppable. And I would love to see Travion Henderson used more as a primary back. I mean, Gino, we were talking, Ramondre and Travion Henderson is a bargain. Gibbs and Montgomery. But
Exactly.
Again, these guys are not them. But Travion is so much to be developed. And I think that part of the reason why the Patriots weren't able to pull out that game is again the lack of chemistry that happens when you're doing everything by committee. I mean, again, be behind a guy, whether that's Drake May or Travion Henderson. I mean, you got these young studs, like, go out there and use them.
Right.
Chiefs D, I don't think I'd be starting anything on the Chiefs right now. I don't think I'd be starting that D at Tennessee. I think that's somewhat dangerous.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think that they're going to be a cut. That defense is used to being off the field and having an offense that's driving. I think that factor is going to change, and Spagnuolo hasn't had to coach in that situation. Eagles coach, I think, again, is a divisional game and is a little riskier. When I look at Patty's Twins, though, it's not all rainbows and unicorns over here, man. Brock Purdy is playing an indie team that I think they gave Seattle everything last week, and so that just tells you the caliber with Brock and company. This is going to tell us a big barometer as we go down the stretch. They can absolutely win the division and have a solid shot at a number one seed. But he's got Jonathan Taylor in the way, and I think that they can really reap in this game. The questions for me, and they're the questions that have been for the Twins all season, is how are they going to cope with injury? Javonte Williams banged up in their last matchup.
Right.
Amon-Ra left a game 2 weeks ago. Christian Watson is questionable, highly questionable for the weekend matchup.
Right.
George Kittle's a lock. Jalen Warren is losing
ground in that
target share
backfield, for sure.
Yeah, Eagles, again, that's a check on both sides. 49ers, she's all in on the Niners. I mean, just flat out. But I think ultimately the Niners take care of business. I think that the injuries, though, have an impact, and I think guys like Bijan Robinson, and I think, again, getting a quarterback like, I would probably go with Lamar Jackson. I've got the Argonauts finding a way to right the earlier loss this season and add to their playoff advantage. I've got them winning this matchup 135 to Patty's Twins 129.
All right, man. This is the tougher matchup to pick when I look at this one, because this one could clearly go either way. You made a compelling argument, I think, for both teams. And I think I'm going to go with Patty's Twins, and I'm going to give you a few reasons why. They're stacked at all of the right spots. The players that they have, to me, have more certain roles and higher outputs. Brock Purdy, he's going to go pedal to the metal. They're playing for everything. They're playing, like you said, for the number one seed. Joe Burrow's playing for nothing. Jonathan Taylor's another one. They're playing for their season right now, and he's the breadwinner in that offense. It's him or bust. Kyron Williams is in the backfield with Blake Corum, so he's got things to figure out. I do like the Argonauts, obviously, in the advantage with the Bijan Javonte Williams. Amon-Ra St. Brown looked like that dude, man. I don't think that injury has going to have any effect on him. Now, receiver 2 and the flex are going to be interesting plays for the Twins, but the Argonauts have not gotten good receiver production all season long. It's really been something they've been able to mask on their way to the Imperial throne, which is also another reason why the Argonauts might be in trouble. The Imperial throne has not been kind in PPL history to the number one seed. I love Travion Henderson's matchup, man. But Baltimore is a team that if you're splitting carries, it's hard enough to get a good game against them when you have a full workload. It's going to be interesting to see how Travion fares out in that one. At the end of the day, I think all of those Niners on Monday night are going to be just enough for the Twins to pull it out. They got it. They fell into a big hole against KLEOS. who was able to build a big lead because none of their players played until the afternoon. And when their afternoon came, it was like by the end of the afternoon, the Twins had the lead. It was a ridiculous 120-point afternoon. The Twins are capable of that on Monday night. Maybe not 120-point Monday night, but at least a 60 to 80-point Monday night. And I think that's what's going to get it done for them. I got the Twins winning this matchup and advancing the Pantheon Cup 17 for a fresh match against Squad Underestimated. I got Patty's Twins winning this matchup 134 to the Argonauts 121. Alrighty, PPLers, thanks for another great week of PPL Live. We got 2 different Pantheon Cups on the docket. We could both be wrong, though. We've got the Argonauts against Squad Underestimated in a rematch of Pantheon Cup 10, if Ulysses has his say. And I've got a fresh matchup of Patty's Twins against Squad Underestimated in Pantheon Cup 17. So be back next week to find out who makes it to the Pantheon Cup and who will take home the Pantheon Cup title next week. Good luck, have a good weekend, and may the odds be ever in your favor for the Argonauts, Appease the Gods, Patty's Twins, and Squad Underestimated. You guys have a good weekend.